Welcome to UNCAGED, a show that celebrates thought leadership from today's top business leaders. The program provides a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. Today, we're going back to the classroom in a way, talking a little bit about education with Sunil Gunderia. Sunil, it's great to have you on the show.
Hey, thanks, man. Great to be here. It's love your show and love this opportunity to be able to talk to you.
Yeah, excellent. So Sunil is the Chief Innovation Officer. He's also the head of Mastery and Adaptative Product at the Age of Learning, Inc. Age of Learning, Inc. is quite a well-known company in the childhood education space. They're the creators of the abcmouse.com Early Learning Academy, described by many educators as the most comprehensive early learning curriculum available online. We'll get more into what the Age of Learning is up to and what Sunil has cooking in the innovation space there. But before we get there, tell us a little bit about yourself and your career.
Sure, man. So like many other people, I grew up as a first generation immigrant from India to a very middle-class family. I started my career journey, pursuing the same path my dad did, which was I was a CPA as a start of the career. And from there, I moved around a little bit, worked in consulting, and then had several other jobs in many different industries. And it was during my time at USC, while I was getting my MBA, that I decided I wanted to work in technology, or at the time, the internet. And I was really fortunate to find this fantastic role in international strategy and business development at the Disney Internet Group, which offered me the opportunity to travel the world and meet a lot of people as I developed business. This led to an opportunity to move with my family to London for Disney and get my first experience at starting up a new business and developing new products at the nascency of mobile technology as an interactive platform. And as the general manager of this new business, I gained some really terrific perspectives on product strategy, management, user experience for new mobile platform, and also got this opportunity to build and manage diverse teams across countries and continents as the business scaled. After 8 years of working in London, I returned to the US to work with early stage companies, which led to an introduction to Doug Doring, who was the CEO and founder of Age of Learning. And Doug told me about how he founded Age of Learning with this mission to help all kids achieve academic success and develop this lifelong love of learning. And he offered me an opportunity to take what I'd learned about product, tech, and distribution to make an impact in education. And over the last years, I've had this amazing opportunity to learn a lot about education and to help the company expand internationally into China and Japan, lead R&D on fantastic next generation learning products, and start the company's new school business, which I'm doing now.
That's exciting. I mean, I could probably talk to you for hours just specifically about your experiences at Disney and global work on Disney. The learnings that you must have gained there just must have been incredible. But you are the man behind innovation, and I'd love to know what you're excited about now and working on at the moment.
So I'm really fortunate to work in an incredibly important sector, which is educational technology, for a company like Age of Learning, who is a clear leader in education, early education, because of our flagship product, ABC Mouse. As you talk about, it's a comprehensive learning experience that teaches young children reading, math, and science, music, art, and a whole bunch of other things. And most importantly, ABC Mouse is a product that is proven to create measurable learning impact. We have had over 30 million kids use it over the last 10 years. So parents know it, they trust it, and it's something that not only helps their kids learn, but really does foster a true love of learning. But even with that success, this tremendous success, one of the developments we're most excited about is our patented Mastery and Adaptive Learning platform. This platform, we spent over 6 years in developing this platform, 6 years of R&D in developing this platform, and we truly believe it is the future of learning. And we're thrilled to bring it, our first program based on that platform, My Math Academy, to schools now.
Well, I'd love to know more about that. I mean, as I mentioned to you, Sunil, not only do I love the topic of education, but I'm married to a teacher, and I am the son of a professor. So I have lived in the world of education throughout my life. It actually even gets worse than that. My wife's father was the superintendent of schools in their area. So so we've been surrounded by education. But tell me more about what this idea is, this mastery and adaptive product. What do you mean by mastery and adaptive products?
All right. So you know a lot about education, given that you've been surrounded by it. So it'll become really clear to you that during our research and development process, we really worked hard at developing a core thesis on something that your family and you've seen probably as well, and that every parent or teacher will tell you, and that is that every child is different, and their child is certainly not average. But if you think about our typical instructional model, it's based on what an average child is expected to learn in a set period of time. And to address the unique qualities of our educational of our children, our educational systems really need to personalize learning. And then what that means is to adapt to what a child knows and provide them instruction on what they need to know next. And so you might ask, so how do you personalize learning? And the way we went about it is to really focus on developing a teaching and assessment platform that uses real-time data, and as I said, to adapt instruction to a child's learning based on what they know. And to design a system like this, an effective personalized learning system, we drew from research in the science of learning. And so what that means from let's say a curricular perspective is that we establish what a child needs to learn, and then use cognitive and behavioral sciences to inform how humans learn best and what motivates learning. And we collect and analyze data across the sciences to understand how each of them impacts learning outcomes. For parents and teachers, we provide rich dashboards with recommendations so they can track growth and support each child's immediate learning needs. We're wrapping up several pilots with our My Math Academy program, which is our first program to fully personalize learning in several schools this year with some great success. And we're really excited about what this portends to the future of education.
That's amazing. I think about what we've lived through over the last 18 months, and education has gone through the ringer, really, in terms of the changes and the focus. And I think obviously during the pandemic, where everyone switched from an in-school environment to a at-home environment or remote environment, and people constantly trying to search for new ways to help children learn, but also evaluate children, right? So as kids got older, the idea that universities were kind of eliminating accepting test scores to be more equitable. It's such a range of change. To tell me where this product fits into those kind of macro trends that we're seeing, and how you hope that it will play a role to resolve some of them.
I mean, there's no question that the pandemic and COVID really amplified problems that already needed to be addressed, right, in education. And let's step back for a moment. And as you think about it, man, what is for your company and for all companies, what is the most important resource of their business? it's people, right?
It's always talent, always people. Yep.
It's human capital. And we're entering an age where it'll be more important than ever for humans to be capable of learning new skills and adapting to rapid shifts resulting from AI and automation. And unfortunately, we just haven't been doing a great job in prepping our younger generation for this change. And if you look at the stats in pre-pandemic in the US, 60% of our fourth graders are not achieving proficiency in math or literacy. And for our kids from lower income families, over 75% are not achieving proficiency. And the economic costs are real at an individual level for these kids. So for example, if you don't achieve proficiency in math by the time you're in fourth grade, you're 4 times as likely to drop out from high school.
Yeah.
Which leads to 34% less lifetime earnings. And from a GDP perspective, so overall economy, the achievement gap between high and low income students cost the US economy $500 billion per year. So about 3% of the GDP. And if you take it on a global basis, 600 million kids are not achieving proficiency. So without a doubt, education is a critical sector for investment and innovation, as any other core infrastructure investment would be, as it unlocks human potential for not only the betterment of individuals, but overall betterment of society.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I saw a similar stat related to language learning. It was the individual who'd founded Duolingo, and he'd highlighted the fact that individuals that learned English, their earning success was dramatically higher, and talked about how, people that had grown up in dire poverty, if they learned English, the opportunities expanded dramatically. And you're absolutely right with where you guys are starting with this product, in the Mastery and Adaptive solutions for mathematics, is so critical. Especially at a time when, unfortunately, still in the U.S., we seem not to focus enough on that, So I think it's very helpful. So tell us, are you guys in the process of rolling this out? Where are we at this stage?
Well, that's right. So our My Math Academy product, we rolled out pilots during the pandemic, and we've seen several districts that have seen great gains among their youngest populations with the product, and kind of the system of teaching on a personalized and differentiated basis really proved to be successful for their youngest learners.
That's so that I can see how it's going to play a big role. But let's take kind of like a slight kind of shift, because I can't run away from the topic that has hit all of us, which is this pandemic. How did you guys fare, and how as an innovation officer, how have you thought about innovation at this time, and how's that impacted the way you approach it at your company?
Yeah, sure. Being in the education business, and we transitioned really well to work from home. Being in software, the teams realized that our product was needed more than ever. We had, incredible demand for our product. But during this time for demand, one of the things that I'm most proud of, and I think everyone at the company is most proud of, is that, we made a decision in mid-March of last year to offer all children affected by the pandemic, with their schools closing down, through their schools, free access to our commercial product, ABC Mouse, Adventure Academy, Reading IQ, so as to ensure that learning continued to happen despite schools being closed. And that has been a really terrific initiative for us, and really, speaks to the mission that Doug and Paul, who is our current CEO, has really set out in terms of, ensuring that everyone has access to great educational resource. the other thing, to the question about, innovation, you look at a lot of discussions about the learning gaps that are happening and the disproportionate nature of these learning gaps among our poorer communities. And it really puts a lens on where we need to focus and ensure like products like My Math Academy, like My Reading Academy that we're working on, really address these learning gaps that are not happening only because of the pandemic, but already existed beforehand. And that we also, as a society, look at addressing the technology gaps that exist among our lower SES populations, where they don't have bandwidth at home and they don't have, their kids don't have access to devices. And so,
Yeah, I mean, that became so clear during the pandemic, where you had situations where you had wealthy suburban parents able to adjust very quickly, and almost surprised by a lot of folks that perhaps didn't have Wi-Fi at home at all, or didn't have access to at least a computer that could be used by children 20 for all of their lessons. So there's so many areas that need to be improved, but I can see the advances that you guys are taking, and I like the customization and the personalization and the use of machine learning. I on a personal note, I'm always trying to improve my language skills, and man, I have a feeling your system would be useful even for an old guy like me. So, but tell me, when you guys look forward over the next, let's say, 12 to 18 months, how do you see the Mastery and Adaptive product evolving, and how do you see the landscape shifting?
Sure. So our plan is, and where our focus has been, and my focus has been, is really understanding and rolling out My Math Academy, and soon to follow My Reading Academy, to schools across the country. So I've had this great opportunity to hire fantastic people who really understand what is a very fragmented schools market in the US. There's over 13,000 separate districts making buying decisions on which products they bring to their kids, and what products are going to work the best with their teachers and such. So, we've hired some fantastic professionals with years of experience selling into schools, and not only selling, but ensuring customer success. And that's been, a great part of the journey. We've been a consumer company for, the majority of our 14 years of existence as Age of Learning. And now to understand what it takes to be successful in schools, not only from a business perspective, but from a customer success and student success and teacher success perspective. How do our products help bring in the change that's needed to really drive innovation in schools that produce better outcomes than the ones we're currently getting, is really where we're focused in on.
Yeah, I mean, I really can see how the direction that you are headed with your solutions is it probably was a bit of a support during this remote period, but clearly will be the key bridge between kind of the digital learning that we're seeing evolving and what schools need. It's been great to talk to you today, Sunil, about all of the products that you're working on. If someone wanted to learn more about what Age of Learning is up to, where should they go?
Yeah, please go to ageoflearning.com to find out more about all of our products and about us as a company. It's really easy to access. And if you have younger kids, you probably already know ABC Mouse. We also have our product Adventure Academy, and we're really excited about our international rollouts in addition to the schools business that I've been talking about.
That's amazing. Well, listen, it's been great to talk to you, Sunil. We've been speaking to Sunil Gunderia. He is the Chief Innovation Officer, as well as the head of Mastery and Adaptive Products. We've been talking about the Mastery and Adaptive product launches by Age of Learning. The first one's in the mathematics space. Second one will be in reading, and really kind of applying a more personalized, customized approach to education. We've had Sunil on the show on Uncaged today. The Uncaged is a show that provides a voice to executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. The Age of Learning is an incredible company with more than 5,000 educational activities. Their lead product, abcmouse.com, offers a full online curriculum for preschool, pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade in reading, math, beginning science, and social studies. And as far as I can see, Sunil, I need to sign up for this myself. So thank you so much for being on the show. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you, Matt. Really appreciate your time today.
Cheers.